Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Today is the day we begin a new 5e campaign with an absolutely absurd amount of homebrew. I'm going to hop into chat in just a moment. Basically, there's a lot of fun things that we'll be testing, and we'll see how they play out. I'm actually quite excited. We haven't done anything since the holidays. Into the sneaky room it is. Whoop. Hello.
Run away.
Run away.
Well.
All right,
God here?
God is always here, always watching. Especially when you think he's not watching.
Oh no.
Gotta keep it creepy. Is everyone prepared for a new campaign?
Yes.
Maybe.
Excellent.
And no. Yes
Excellent.
and no.
Wonderful. Yesn't is my favorite answer to absolutely everything. Like I mentioned before, obviously we're homebrewing and playing with a lot of interesting rules. I want to keep things fun and frenetic and moving and etc. etc. All that good shit. As a reminder, in case you guys forgot anything, we are keeping the rule of it's not necessarily called shots, but it's effectively called shots. It's more so for martial classes, but because no one is martial, I'll let you guys test it with spells and such. So long story short, tripping someone without having to just use the push action because that's boring. More fun actiony things that aren't necessarily listed in the book. So anything fun you can think of, throw it my way. We'll adjust the DC and basically go from there. There's obviously that. There's the potion rule. For reference, each of you have a level 1 potion. Just to make sure that the to hit rule doesn't completely nuke you guys. To hit is normal. You hit when you hit them. If you miss, it will just do half damage, and no on-hit moves will activate. It cannot kill. So if you keep glancing someone, you cannot kill them. They have to die to an actual hit. So if you keep shooting a monster and missing, it will not die. It'll stay at 1 HP. Effectively. Same goes for you guys. I thought I'd clarify that just in case we thought otherwise. So obviously things like sneak attack don't work because you missed. It's a glance. It'll only do 3 damage, 2 damage. I also want to bring up, I'm using a semi-module. Jacob Hurst, the creator of Hot Springs Island. Basically, I know you guys are unaware of this book. I've been very excited to mess with it and play with it. We tinkered it for 5e, so that is the shell that we're basically using for this campaign. Very excited to poke it. This looks dope. So yeah, good stuff. If the three of you would like to introduce yourselves, we can start with the wonderful Sarabi.
I'm Sarabi. I'm Kitsune. I am Kiara's older sister. And after watching her cry for weeks, she'll deny it, on end about losing her BFF, I decided that I would make sure I never watched any sisters go through that again. Therefore, I became a cleric.
You have other sisters?
Sisters in general.
Okay.
Sisters of the world.
I gotcha. Double checking.
How many sisters? Give us a number right now.
No.
And name all of them.
She hasn't found out yet.
Oh, she doesn't even know.
Yeah, I don't.
It's in the family, of course.
Alrighty, Mr. Aldrin.
Hello, I'm Aldrin Zoras. I'm tall human cleric from obviously the Zoras family, royalty of Torello. I ran away because they're a bunch of assholes.
Fair enough.
Now I'm here for adventure.
Ooh. Spicy.
Tell us how tall you are.
Don't worry about it. Very.
He's tall enough.
What are your measurements? Give me your 3 sizes.
Exactly.
No.
Very important. Alrighty, and our last shorter individual member.
Very
much
shorter. I'm Lackaroot. I also ran away from my family. That is to say, they got absolutely decimated for being shitbags. I'm effectively the last surviving member. I have no issues with this because they were effectively all dickbags. After all that went down, I basically started working on a ship because, as it turns out, I'm a storm sorcerer. And there I learned some things, and I also experienced the Corellia incident. And now I'm here.
That was fun times for everybody.
I'm 2 feet 1 tall.
Aw. Be cute, though. You can pick them up and put them in your pocket.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I'm 3 times your size, I think.
Like it could be
I'm just gonna sit on top of your shoulder and cast lightning bolt.
Just throw spells off of my shoulders.
He could be a turret. Already. Most excellent. For reference, I'm just going to go and throw this out there. You guys are on a really, really large boat, as you can see. I'm going to go and zoom out real quick. It is absolutely massive. No, I did not make this. It is gorgeous, though. I forgot if the artist's name is on here. It is. If it is not, they are a prominent map maker. I don't think I need to freaking say that. Yes, this is all one boat. For ease of access, I'm putting you all on the same floor, basically, of this boat. There are various NPCs on here. I will say, in general, Mr. Aldrin, you wanted an adventure. Sarabi, you wanted to seek strength and also adventure, correct?
Yeah.
I believe you mentioned prior that the two of you met in some sort of cleric hall and basically have been adventuring for a little while together, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And realistically, Lekka, you can say why you're here. I will say what this boat's duty is. If you look to your south, you guys already met her prior to this. Ma Martel, down this way, she is the owner of this boat. She is also the head of the Martel Corporation. They are very, very large. They're all about money. They're all about exploiting what they can to get more money, which usually leads to adventure. She hired many, many adventurers. As you can see, they're all strewn about this ship, basically looking for an island that does not exist. And of course, that sounds really, really interesting.
Hell yeah.
Because of that, anyone who's brave enough has joined in on this ship. The folk to the north, you guys do know all of them. 8 of them are in the same group. Marcia is alone, and Horatio is also alone, effectively. They joined on their own. Lekka, I don't know if you want to say you met them prior to getting on the ship, or...
Like, Lekka has a ship of its own. He is a merchant, so to speak. As in, he goes around selling stuff that is, as far as the law goes, not entirely legal. He doesn't really care. He's a kobold.
Ma's happy with that. She doesn't care either. Money's money.
So he would basically, he would probably know Ma through some way, like trade contracts, stuff like that.
That makes sense.
And let's say that he might have seen the island from one time.
Most excellent.
He didn't go there, of course, but it was on the way. He saw something weird.
There have indeed been many.
Hired as the guide.
Due to your unique skills, of course, her and her crew are very skilled. There are crew everywhere. I'm not going to put 1,000 tokens on the map for obvious reasons.
What? I need 1,000 tokens for my immersion.
I know, right? Allegedly,
how can I roleplay?
Foundry with their newest update can handle that plus 1,000, literally 1,000 light sources. I don't want to test it, but I believe them. He basically put a token in a maze with, I think, literally 1,000 light sources and just ran through the maze and it's like, no frame drops. So I don't know how you did this black magic, but I greatly appreciate it. With that, I will leave the floor to the three of you. Basically tell me what you guys want to do. Things will occur. I'll let you know when those things happen. Otherwise, the floor is yours.
I'm hungry. I want to go talk to some people.
Hungry?
Where did you say that?
Wait, you're hungry, so you want to talk to people. Are you going to eat them?
Yes.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Kitsunes are kind of succubusy. Because I'm a demon.
Okay,
they kind of suck, yeah, indeed.
Who's this?
Who this be, though?
Ooh, that's a really pretty icon.
So basically, as you go to speak with various NPCs, I will turn their names on for you guys. As you walk up to her, Miss Sarabi, as I mentioned, everyone has been on the ship. We've been at sea for maybe, we'll say like 3 or so days, dropping off at various locations. She's picking up loot, dropping off loot, all very normal. As you walk up to this individual, Miss Sarabi, you notice that she has a heavy build, brown eyes, and she has a mane of black hair. She seems to be wearing a set of steel and leather armor, and she wields a very large two-handed axe. It looks special.
So we haven't introduced ourselves to anyone on the boat, right? Did we just board?
If you want, we can say this is the first day, and you guys are just introducing yourselves. That works perfectly fine.
All right. Hi. What do you do on this boat?
You see her leaning on the banister, sort of looking out into the ocean. The wind is whipping her hair as she slowly turns to you, Sarabi. I don't work here, if that's what you're asking. I'm here like you.
Oh, duh.
And she smiles at that.
Are you adventurer by trade?
You could say that, yes. I've lived a life before this. Let's just say I'm looking for something different. We're all here for our own reasons, yeah?
Yeah.
She nods at that. Her eyes are hard, but not lifeless. She looks like she's definitely fought before. She's not dressed up to go to a party, you can tell. There are scars that adorn her body. She definitely looks tough.
Can I tell if she's seen someone die?
Very much so. You don't need to look too close at that, but yeah, she's been in battle. She's been in war. You can tell that her weapon is worn. Her armor is worn, not in a low quality way, in a I've survived many battles kind of way. As I mentioned, she is adorned with scars. Nothing too deep, nothing that you can see, at least that was maybe life ending.
So what's your plan when we get to this island? I admit I'm kind of clueless about it.
Well, from what I gathered in general, most people are pretty clueless about it. Apparently it doesn't even exist. So, well, like I said, trying to turn my life around, do something new, see new sights. She points beyond you, Sarabi. Mom Martell back there promised treasure, rewards, whatever she can offer. I mean, I know they have the money. So she promised she'd essentially lay things out when we actually get to this island, wherever it is. I trust she'll be able to find it, or whatever. She'll make our effort worth it. It sounds like a challenge. As you can see, she kind of motions around. Not many people took her up on her offer.
Indeed, this boat is quite large for so few people.
Indeed, it's mostly her crew, to be fair. I mean, she does have a business to run after all. And as she says that, you see two people carrying large crates kind of walk by you.
I should probably go talk to this lady. She's where?
Martell, she's behind you. And she points just over your shoulder. You can see she's at the very south.
Ah, well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sarabi.
She puts out her hand to shake yours.
I'll shake back.
The name is Marcia. Very nice to meet you, Sarabi. Hopefully things go well for us on the side.
Perhaps, yes. And if you need help with any serious injuries, give me a call.
I've had my faces with, and she kind of looks over you real quick. What exactly are you, by the way? You don't really look like you're dressed appropriate.
I'll look down my garbs. Oh, my sister gave me this. I'm a kitsune.
I've heard of your kind before. Not sure I've seen you in person, though. Very, very neat. I like your look.
We do like to keep to ourselves.
And she does give you sort of a stern look. Do be careful, though. I heard this is, well, quite serious. I wouldn't want you or any of your friends to get hurt.
Oh, don't worry. I'm in training to prevent exactly that from happening.
She gives you a very pure smile.
All right, well, perhaps we'll see each other.
The three of you are walking up. As you can see, Ma, she has some papers in front of her. She's sort of flipping through them while she's talking fairly sternly, but quickly with an individual in front of her. He gives her a quick salute and then walks off.
I mean, I was already standing here when two of them arrived, but
You were here first?
yeah.
Okay.
I was just discussing things with her as well.
Okay. What were you talking about?
Yes. Good thing we left early. There's storm brewing. And I'll be pointing back at Chabi, basically.
Sort of looks back and then looks to you and narrows her one eye. Sort of gives you a nod. I believe you shared your unique skills with her?
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, she knows I'm a storm sorcerer. I'm good on boats, basically.
Obviously, everyone is aware of magic. This is definitely a high magic world. So it's not strange. But a lot of people try to sell snake oil. So she's effectively testing you. A lot of folks say they can predict the weather, predict this, that, and the other. So she's holding you to your word.
In this case, Lekka is basically referring to the Great Destroyer waking up because he's feeling something coming from there, but that's about it.
And she sort of just slowly nods that and says, I'll have to take your word for it.
Something feels wrong, though. Best to avoid that place for a while.
Well, fortunately for you, we're not going back. Forward, we are headed.
Yes, good. Follow the wind.
Oh, I plan to. And she smiles at that, so looking over her crew, seeing them rush about. Aldrin will say, you arrive next.
Hey, boss, what's the agenda today?
She smirks at that. Well, the general initial plan is for everyone to get situated. Of course, you can all pick out your bunks. While you are guests here, we do expect you to pull your weight in some way. Of course, my men can handle all of the standard affairs. She kind of points around. You can see they are already very much getting busy and to work. But this isn't a pleasure cruise, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I get it.
She nods at that. Rest well. This island, she says that with a smile, I hear is quite dangerous. I need you all to be on your toes and at your absolute best.
Will do.
Lekka will snap to attention basically and just scamper off to the mast.
And as you're heading over there, Sarabi walks on over.
This island isn't gonna be rough and tumble, is it? 'Cause my sister spent a lot of money on this outfit, and I don't want to ruin it.
Turning now to you as you're ascending where she's currently located, Sarabi. She looks a little disappointed. I'm sorry, what?
I'm asking, what can we expect?
You can expect to get your pretty little dress probably drenched, potentially destroyed. I wouldn't recommend wearing that where we're going. What was your name again?
Sarabi.
She's looking you up and down, and you very much stand out. And she kind of purses her lips and thinks for a moment. She looks over to Aldris and looks back to you. I assume you have another garb prepared? Something to protect you. Good. You'll most likely be wanting to wear that then, not What is that, ceremonial? We're not going to a dance.
Well, it's more, alluring?
Upon saying that, she is giving you a very stern look, Sarabi. She half smiles and kind of nods and says, "You're interesting. Try to stay around for as long as you can."
Aye, that's what I intend.
Good, good. Well, the plan, if the two of you are wondering, in general, we're going to be hitting the seas for, hopefully, shouldn't take any longer than a week. But this island, we're going to be looking very aggressively for it. I have a few locations we're going to be stopping off at first, but after that, we're going to straight into it. And to answer your question, Sarabi, is it going to be dangerous? Yes, very much so. Tumultuous? Doubly. Expect to get wet.
That doesn't bother me.
Good. She turns to Aldrin, and she can tell the outfit you're wearing, Aldrin. Is it basically what you ran away from home in? Or did you get something
basically,
different?
it's
Okay.
like a fancy coat, but it was made specifically for me. It's really long and purple.
Excellent.
It's got some it's got the
Ooh,
the
royal
family
purple?
crest on it. Yes, pretty
Wait,
much.
wait. So is it obviously royalty?
It's not like super, hey, look at me, I'm rich, but
Her eyes glance at the crest and then look to you, and she, once again, smirks a little. You two have already spoken, and you get the feeling that she can kind of tell why you're here. Well, if there's nothing else you two need of me, you are dismissed.
Aye, aye, Captain. Crow's nest! Cool!
Before you get there, I'd be hanging down from a rope and stopping you guys anyway, so. Yes, apologies. Forgot to introduce myself. I'm Leka, your guide.
Nice to meet you, Leka. I'm Sarabi.
it's nice to meet you, little one. My name's Aldrin.
Yes. Quite tall, this one, yes. Could use as crow's nest.
As a mask, yeah.
Yes, he is quite tall.
Oh,
Leka's just hanging upside down at this point, looking at you. Yes, tall indeed.
Good vantage point.
boy.
Catches a lot of wind as well, though. Better watch out where we're going.
Wait, is it windy where we're going?
Quite windy on seas. Quite windy around me as well. And I'll basically blow a little wind around with my magic.
Are you a storm mage?
Yes.
Oh,
Made quite good coin on ship being a storm wizard.
exciting. That means we shouldn't run into any troubles, right?
Well, seas are devious. Change quickly, but I'll be on top of it.
Oh,
Literally.
you do your thing, I can tell.
I believe in you.
It's better we are away from Shun Hill right now. Something happening there. Can feel it in the water. It
Oh.
stirs.
You suddenly have my attention.
Oh, shit,
Wait,
now I kind of want to go back.
what's wrong with Shun Hill?
Not sure. Left too quickly. Something though. Something building. In the ocean. Raging. Not good. I'm sure it'll
I
be fine though.
quickly reach into my bag to see if my sister sent me a message.
You do know that she has been sending you a few. Do you recall what Kiara said regarding all this nonsense?
No, I totally don't.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Well, I'm half wondering if she kept it to herself to not worry Sarabi.
I think she said it at the last minute.
That would make sense. Also, to be fair, she only kind of half knew up until a certain point until
Well,
we,
and she
we
also
knew.
she also was tinkering for a while, so the messages are probably very I did this today. I read this book today.
Yeah, a lot of the messages when you check are just basically Kiara being Kiara and exactly what you just said. I found this thing. Look at this. Is cool. Hey sister, what are you doing? Check us out. Are you safe?
Hey sister, did you get to sleep with that guy yet? Damn it, no.
God.
And then of course you do have the one message saying, did you actually find Mr. You Know Who?
Yeah.
Sarabi joked that she was gonna go look for him, so you got that note as well. Like, did you find him? And you're already on the boat, so. Do the three of you speak with
Aw.
anyone else before the day wears off?
I've probably spoken with some people, but not about anything important.
I will say this quickly. There are an absurd amount of NPCs in this module. You do not have to speak with all of them. There is a benefit to speaking with certain people, of course, but there are so many we could literally be role-playing it for hours. You can just say you introduce yourself to the group, if you want.
I imagine Sarabi is very talkative, so I figure she probably introduces herself to lots of people.
Like, if anything, if there is another storm sorcerer on the ship, Leka would be hanging out with him.
There's not.
That means
Also,
I get
she
paid
still needs
extra.
to find her meal.
You need to find your meal.
Not
Yeah,
the meal.
I need
I
the
do.
meal.
I do hope she doesn't eat 3 times a day.
No.
It's going to be very annoying.
No.
Your goal, are you looking for one of the named NPCs or just
every few days?
Or one of the crew members?
For my meal, a crew member's fine. But are there any like interesting NPCs that would catch her interest?
There are definitely quite a few. Of course, there is the person south of you, there is Horatio, and there is this massive group over here. I can quickly describe them if you guys want.
Yes. Can you show us ping where the groups are?
There is one single group up north.
All right, tell us about them.
And then Horatio is to the south. We'll say during this day, you all spoke with this group. I'll start with Mr. Brian. This individual, you guys can tell, he is like you. He is indeed a cleric. He's middle-aged. He has hazel eyes and graying hair. He has a kind of short, combed over haircut. He is wielding a blessed war mace that he calls Justice. And he seemed very, very nice to chat. Pretty much all of these people seem relatively pleasant. The person next to him would be named Joni. She has sandy blonde hair, blue eyes. She's wielding a long horn bow, and she has a short sword. Her and Jack are the two main reasons why this group is together. Everyone is either a combination of a friend to them, or something along those lines, similar to a bodyguard, a lover.
Are they potential friend? Is this the potential friend group, or are they potential enemies?
They all seem nice.
That old cleric, I would have spent a lot of time just questioning him about his experience out of, scholarly interest.
That makes sense. Let me ask you, are you looking for someone like around your age, or are you looking for
what?
For feasting, or do you not care?
Are you feeling Chinese or Indian or Mexican?
I mean, dear heart, I'm gonna be lucky if I find someone around my age.
Sorry, around your presumed shown age.
I'm looking for presumed age.
Okay.
But I can go 10 or 20 years if they're willing.
Okay. I will.
Picky eater, are you?
I mean, I need to eat.
Upon asking, you learn that the person in the bottom left corner, Jack, his name is Jack. Well, he's known as Jack the Jeweler. Eunice is Jack's lover. Audrey is Jack's bodyguard.
Okay.
Technically, Eunice and Jack are off limits, and no one else really shared their sexual preferences or, who they're with. So that isn't something you're aware of, but you do know that Jack and Eunice are indeed together, both from their body language and in general just from how they spoke about each other, and you know that Audrey is their bodyguard.
I think I'm probably very sensitive to body language when it comes to romances.
Yes, so that is something you would have picked up on.
She can literally smell it.
Oh, by the way, unlike Gigi, Sarabi is straight.
Okay. So I will say in general, the gist you got from each of the important NPCs is Horatio is basically on his own, Marcy is on her own, and this group is technically functioning together. Joni effectively kind of got everyone at the top together, and Jack got the ones at the bottom together. But in general, they're here to make money because Mama Tell promised money.
Mama Tell promised a lot, didn't she?
Indeed. And as I mentioned, she didn't necessarily say how that's going to play out. You'll know when you get there, but you know she's good for it. This, as I mentioned, this company is well known.
Oh, Lekka knows.
Exactly.
Lekka knows how she gets her money. It's fine. He trusts it.
All right, we'll say with that, you feast on one of the crew members you mentioned, Sarabi?
Yeah.
All right.
I figure the crew's probably looking for a little fun ride, right?
Fair enough. And you did mention you only take what you need, you don't overdo it, right?
Right.
Right, because dead people are, well,
bad.
Bad, exactly. We'll say about a day or so pass while we are riding through the ocean. It is it's relatively relaxed. You notice that while Maud did mention she will be needing things of you all, you don't necessarily notice her asking you specifically to do anything. As of current, all of her men are handling everything, so her crew has this down pat. She hasn't really approached any of you, but you can tell she's incredibly busy with work, whether she's in her cabin, whether she's going around giving orders. Everyone is working, see anyone lazing about. They're not drinking. They're not really partying or anything. They're all taking this quite seriously. We'll say we dropped off at maybe 1 or 2 locations where she dropped off various goods, received payment, picked up various goods, dropped them off somewhere else. So this is very normal for her. You're assisting all along the way. This storm event hasn't happened just yet, but she's definitely keeping an eye out on it. She does not trust you. She's just trying to remain sort of impartial for now. You do know that her main goal, however she's attempting to accomplish this, is that she's looking for this mysterious island that does not exist. We'll say about 4 days or so into our little adventure, she does ask you all for some assistance. And effectively what she asks you all to do is she had some men get off, and they're dealing with various folk in the town, solidifying a deal and collecting what they can. And she asks you three and the other groups sort of do their own thing, but if you would be so kind as to assist the crew that left behind with various crates, whether you use your magics or your strength, she cares not. Just help out in any way you can.
It's my strength. Am I actually? Nope, it was my dump stat.
Nice.
That's not surprising.
It's alright. I don't need it.
It's not my dump stat.
So I may ask how the three of you are attempting to help.
I'm just gonna help carry crates around. I don't think
Okay.
I have spells that really help.
How big are these crates?
They vary. She's aware that... Oh god, why are you so big? She is aware that you are quite small, so in that sense, she's not necessarily asking you to carry anything major. Just because, like I mentioned, she's aware of your stature and she's not going to go crazy on you and be like, "Oh, why aren't you helping?" It's like, I'm like 2 feet tall, leave me alone.
I will carry stuff. While I do it, I'm gonna flirt with everyone I see,
All right, excellent.
just to improve the mood, to make the work go by faster.
Perfect. You can tell that people, they're tired, but you know that they are paid well, and she does indeed respect her crew. She's hired enough people to get this done, and the more you guys are looking around, she's definitely taking this very seriously. Whatever this island is, however she's looking for it, she, on top of you guys, she very much hired a crew that can handle this. This isn't some random person, dipping out into the ocean, into the world, and then, potentially just getting murdered. Like, she definitely knows what she's doing.
I'm probably trying to carry way too many crates.
Yeah. Are you trying to show off, or are you just trying to...
I just want to help as much as possible. Just carry 3, 4 crates if I can at a time.
Excellent. And
Lekka's having flashbacks of his time in his old colony where he was basically a slave.
Oh,
Like a crate that is kind of too heavy for him. He's basically carrying it on his back and just slogging forward.
okay. Most of these, I'm pretty sure these are sleeping quarters. I imagine these are mostly boxes and such. And as you guys descend, you can hear the ocean lapping up against the side of the ship. And there are various crew members going up and going down. You notice that the other groups kind of hit land to go help with that, while you guys are basically bringing the boxes up, they're bringing them out. So we actually have a nice little system working here. And as you guys are moving about, you notice this one crew member sort of off in the corner. They are sort of grunting to themselves, and they're trying to pick up a crate, but they can't get it. You notice they're lifting it very strangely.
I'll go to help.
yeah, same.
You walk up to this individual, and they have both their hands on the side, the right and the left of this crate. And you as you get closer, you hear this grating sound. As you approach them, you can see that their nails are actually scratching against the wood of this crate, and they're trying to pick it up, but their nails are primarily scratching against the outside. And you can hear them grunting.
Can I investigate him?
Well, what are you looking for precisely?
I want to know if he's alive.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Is he sick?
Okay, you can definitely roll for that to look closer at...
Perceive or
Is there
investigation?
something weird about the crate or about the person?
The crate seems fine. The person definitely seems a little off. Yeah,
Perceive or investigation?
your choice. As you begin to move up to this individual, you can actually see that their skin, they seem really sweaty for some reason. Really, really sweaty. There's a very intense sheen and a shine to their flesh. And upon closer inspection, before you get too close, of course, you can see that their nails, while they do look, I don't know, maybe as if they filed them a very certain way, they are actually making purchase into the wood. There's blood from what you can see from where you are. And you can kind of just hear them just
Are you okay, sir?
He doesn't seem to acknowledge you. And he kind of grabs onto the crate, scratches one more time, and then stops. And then all the scratching ceases. And then just standing there. Great.
Sir?
As you say that, the individual turns to look at you. And you can see this person normally, you recognize them from the other day. You party, at night we can party, at night we can drink, at night we can have fun. And just kind of chit-chat with people. This individual turns to you, and you recognize them as Eric. He had a nice, dark, healthy skin tone. He looked very healthy. Now he looks incredibly pale. The sweat on his skin, and now that you can see closer, it almost doesn't look like sweat for some odd reason. His eyes look as if they're bulging out of his head, almost. He doesn't blink as he stares at you, and you can hear his breathing is just heavier and heavier almost as if something is stuck in his throat, and you can actually see that his neck is like swollen. And he's just looking at you, and his head is primarily turned, but he's having to actually move his body. It seems his neck is so swollen he can't turn his head without turning his body with it. And he's just holding this crate, just looking at you.
Are you sure he's alive?
He's alive, yeah.
Is the captain or any other crew members nearby?
There are a few crew members nearby, and some of them have kind of stopped, and one of them has put the crate down. They're like kind of reaching for a dagger. They're looking at you guys like, what the hell's going on? No one really saw this individual until you brought it up, but some folk are now realizing and seeing what you're saying.
I'll look at the nearest one and say, fetch your captain now.
As you say that, they give you a quick nod and run up the stairs. As you say that, though, this individual rushes you. Sarabi, roll me them bones.
Roll me them bones.
Not the bones.
Back a fair bit, Aldrin and Lekka. Mr. Tallboy, you're up first. What do you do?
You said he looks like swollen and kind of like not frozen up, but
You can see that they've clawed a bit at their clothing. His skin everywhere, all of it, head to toe. He looks swollen. His neck specifically just looks more grotesque than the rest. Almost, this person wasn't heavy set. He was built pretty well, but you can. It's almost as if his neck is pushed out forward, almost to completely negate his chin. It's that swollen. Yet he's still breathing. It's just very, very heavy and wet sounding. As I mentioned, he does not blink. His eyes are like bulging out of his head and incredibly wide. They look glazed over slightly as well.
So as a cleric, have I seen this before, or is it completely new on me?
You maybe seen something similar to this, but nothing like this before.
Okay.
What about me, as a seafaring folk?
You have not. This is
it
also
like a sea sickness or something? No.
No. Unfortunately, it is not. This is completely out of your wheelhouse.
I doubt I would know anything. I'm gonna try to not kill him, but I'm still gonna attack him. Oh no, my DC's so low.
You blast off a beam of heat radiant damage. Excellent. And it just barely nicks and just like slides by him, and they don't really seem to pay it any mind as they're slowly walking towards Sarabi's.
Yeah, I'm gonna like walk in between them and hold my shield up.
All right, excellent. Sarabi, what do you do? Alrighty, word of radiance. You utter a divine word, and burning radiance erupts from you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within range must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. Take 1d6 radiant damage. Does this come from your body, or you fire it off?
I guess from my body.
So yes, you do need to indeed run at this individual. Excellent. But as you do, light bursts from you, my friend, and they indeed fail. This radiant damage washes over them. They don't seem to pay it much mind, though. And as you're looking at them, you just kind of see their body just like just shake a bit, and they don't drop the crate initially. They just grip it tighter, and you can actually hear the wood buckle under their grip.
Nah, be careful of the merchandise.
I want to like tell everyone that's down here to not kill him, just knock him out.
Okay, fair enough. All right, you're gusting. Are
Wait,
there
how do you see
damage?
advantage on that?
Good question. So, as you blast a gust of wind at this individual, their skin shimmers again, and they seem unaffected by the spell, and only angered.
What kind of shimmer is it?
It seems slimy, actually. Not necessarily magical, but it's very wet, almost like as if their skin is secreting some form of liquid. It doesn't look like sweat. It looks thicker.
A certain vampire wouldn't know what this is, would he?
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm just gonna end my turn now.
Okay. The individual faces towards you, Sarabi. They lift the crate above their head, and they go to smash it down on top of you.
Not the merchandise.
Nice.
Unfortunately,
Also, that's a crit.
Not the outfit!
Crit on the first one.
both. Unfortunately, we're not using the rule because you'd just be dead.
Pretty much.
Little much. All right, so they basically.
Oh, with the max damage?
Yeah, because that would have been 1d8 plus just a flat 8 plus 3, and you only have like 20 HP, so that would basically you're dead.
Of course you would hit me that hard your very first attack, Cup.
Of course. But it's only 8, so it's pretty bad, but not as bad. They smash this wooden crate against you, Sarabi, and you go hurtling back 5 feet. You're also knocked prone as you get knocked backwards. The individual then slowly turns to you, Aldrin, and you can see, now that they're no longer carrying this crate, there's something wrong with their nails. It's almost as if the standard god, nail bed is somewhat visible, but it looks strange. Before you can get a good eye on it, they lash out against you. Fortunately, you're able to dodge out of the way, and their breathing only gets heavier and heavier. Aldrin?
Did you say we're doing scratch damage, or are
Indeed. Yes.
We are.
So we aren't actually missing then?
Correct. Everything you do will do damage, unless it's a
cantrips don't do damage at all. So
yeah. So
if you
cantrips,
miss.
yeah, cantrips will do half if they miss, because cantrip is just an attack. So every type of attack will just be half, basically.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop my shield for just a second and
Okay.
coat my hand in necrotic energy, and I'm gonna touch him.
All right. Juicy. Oh my god, did that actually 3d10 damage?
Yep, it's a level 1 spell.
Mother nuts. Very nice. I like it. All right. Does
Just
it have any
melee.
adverse? Is it just damage?
It's just
Yes.
necrotic damage
All right. As you place your hand on this individual,
on their shoulder. I'm trying to not be.
Not kill them.
Yeah.
you can feel like the slime is like pushed through their clothing, and it's slick against their flesh, and unfortunately now against yours. This pulse of necrotic damage just jolts through them. You can see his eyes just bulge just a little more, and he kind of and shakes as he's racked with pain, and you can kind of hear something gurgling from within him. You can tell he is very much hurt, but pulling your hand away, there's like a trail of slime on your hand as you pull back.
That's disgusting.
You can tell that they are indeed hurt from this, but strangely enough, you guys have fought before. This person seems strangely resilient. This would have normally knocked somebody out. So something is causing them to push forward. You're not entirely sure what it is.
Wonderful.
Sure, they're not dead.
I mean, you can double check after you stand up. So Robbie?
So Robbie, does he attack with a strength weapon?
Who?
The
Wasn't his
guy.
fist, or his claws. Or
The
whatever.
individual
Great.
has... He threw a crate at you, and then he basically scratched Aldrin with his nails.
So that's strength, right?
Looks pretty strengthy. Are you enfeebling?
I am enfeebling him.
As you attempt to enfeeble this fool, they
Advantage on con saves apparently.
they seem to resist it. The magical beams. You stand up, by the way, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. You attempt to basically hold this person and enfeeble them, but the beams from the magic kind of just like wash over their flesh, and you see that sticky, slimy substance shimmer a bit more.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Like it.
Oh, not good, not good.
Actually, does it look like his?
go
Does it
stand
look
on
like
top
his
of
bulging's
this is
getting
a-
worse?
Yes.
He's gonna stand on the table.
Okay.
Step aside.
A new spell.
He has advantage on everything apparently.
He has on everything magical so far. Yes. This is the
Typical.
new spell, correct?
Yes, it is.
Ooh, very, very fancy. Once again, while they are indeed affected by it slightly, so that they'll take half damage from this, something seems slightly off about this. As you let loose this cone of ice, Lekka, it sort of begins to freeze them. Go ahead and roll me 2d6. Initially, they don't seem too affected by it, but the instant drop in temperature seems to actually freeze some of the sticky shield that they've basically erected around themselves. They're not affected by the full spell, as they're able to somehow avoid it through whatever machinations they have, but they seem to kind of be slowed a little, but once again, almost paying no mind to it, single-mindedly staring at both Aldrin and Sarabi.
I'm going to fly 10 feet back
Okay, excellent.
as a free action.
Yay. As the ice covers them, they kind of just, they move a bit. You can see it shattering and cracking off them. Because of that, they're only going to get one strike per turn on this turn specifically. They'll move in slowly closer to you, Lekka, and almost like absent-mindedly, they'll swing out at Aldrin.
So is the captain almost here yet?
Yes, by this moment, at the top of the order, they do slash out against you, Aldrin, but you're mostly able to avoid this. At this moment, you guys look to the north. You can see that multiple crew members have come down. Some are wielding guns. Some are wielding what seems to be similar to a firearm, but not really. It's closer to what you'd have seen your sister using. And you do indeed see...
You mean my sister?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
No, he
It's my
means my
sister.
sister.
I mean, all your
Oh,
sister.
shit.
We all share a
37 of my
sister.
sisters that died.
Yes.
You're alive?
And At the very top of the order, Moss says nothing. Looking down at this individual, she lock eyes with them. She draws a bow and she fires.
Ooh.
She strikes them. She fires again. This one will just barely miss, but seem to slow them down. She looks to the three of you. She looks to this individual, and effectively she kind of gives you a look, seeing how damaged you are, Sarabi, that says, do what you need to do. Aldrin.
So you said the bloating or whatever is getting worse?
The bloating is getting worse. The first arrow that sunk into this person's flesh, made a really nasty, like, and just kind of like, it pushed in, and the flesh around, like, where the arrow has entered is like pulled in, almost like a balloon being poked too hard. No blood or anything is really coming out of that wound specifically. It definitely penetrated and punctured them, but this person's just bloating. They're not blowing up like a balloon, but their body seems to be getting slightly larger. You can see his teeth now, and he's like braiding them together, and his lips are kind of peeling back, and you can see far too much gum.
Thank you so much for this mental image, my love.
You're very welcome.
I doubt it's gonna work, but I'm gonna. Are there any like windows down here or like holes that I could? Well, there's cannons here.
Very much so,
Aren't
yes.
actually there.
Yep. And though they're not currently in position, so if you want to do something with the window, yes.
Well, I doubt it's gonna work because I'm not super strong, but I'm gonna try to like grab him and go out the hole with him. So just in case the bloating gets to the point where he blows up, it doesn't damage anything.
With him?
Yeah.
There's no landing.
I'm trying to throw him out the hole if I can, but we'll see.
You can swim, right?
A little bit.
I'll let you roll either acrobatics or athletics, whichever one you think is better for you, and you'll just contest against mine.
Acrobatics or athletics? They're the same, so I'm gonna go athletics.
Me too. Alrighty.
Oh boy.
I will say you succeeded by so much. You beat them by 6. You realize upon grabbing them, they are quite strong, but in this exact moment, they are slightly off balance. So if you want to throw them out the window, you are more than welcome to do so.
Yeah, I want to like drag him over and throw him out the window.
Okay. You drag this individual over to the window, and I will say while you are pulling them, they are going to lash out at you one more time. I'll have them attack you with disadvantage. While you're pulling, they attempt initially, just as a reaction, just hook their claws into you. And you can almost hear him saying something, but initially it's just teeth grinding on teeth, and you think you can hear a pop and a crack as you get closer and closer to the window. You kind of push him up against it, and you kind of like slam him against it a bit. It really is only large enough to fit one of these cannons, and after kind of twisting a bit, some of the other crew members move up to you, Aldrin, in order to assist you, because they can see what you're trying to do. And yeah, this logically makes sense. Panicking this much, they're going to kind of go, just go with the flow and what's happening. So pushing this individual up against this window, you're able to actually fit them through all the way. Something probably pops, most likely dislocated their shoulder, but you do indeed shove them through the hole. They scratch out at you one more time, but miss. And they just kind of boom, right into the water. And it looks as if they're trying to swim. They're kind of freaking out, and you see them just like moving and just flailing in the water and trying to maybe attach to the side of the boat or like punch it or scratch at it. What they're doing seems animalistic. It seems foolish, completely foolish.
He's trying to get up there.
Very much so. I'm going to roll athletics. Let's see. I'm going to give you a DC, Mr. NPC, of 14. All right?
Nice.
You do hear sort of a hollow thunk, and you can hear that they probably latched onto the side of the ship.
Wait, so can we not see him anymore?
No, they went back like a good 50 feet.
Well, I want to run around looking with the rest of my movement, looking out the little holes to see where he is.
Moss seems relatively confused as to what just happened, and you see her run back up the stairs, presumably to see this person over the edge.
I'm going after him.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
Okay. And you're looking out the windows, Aldrin?
Yeah, I just want to like see where he's at. I was gonna move the cannon into place if he was going to the same one.
Okay.
You'll see Lekka jump out of the window.
Okay.
Cast magic missile at it the moment it comes into sight, and then he'll use his free movement flight to jump back on deck.
His iframe backwards?
Exactly.
I love it.
Dragoon jump.
Yes, do it.
All right.
Oh my god.
So Aldrin basically sees a tiny blue thing jump through the window, a lot of magic flying off, hitting the eye, and then it floats back on deck.
The individual is struck 3 times, and you see them just kind of almost flapping in the wind in a way. I'll go ahead and roll one more time, and I'll increase it to 16 this time. They are trying very, very, very hard to hold on, as you can tell. They slide back like maybe 5-10 feet, but they are not letting go. So, Robbie, what do you do?
I'll
He's
yell,
gonna
it's
bolt-
still there. It's almost dead.
You're going to guiding bolt it?
Yeah.
Or do you just pop your head out the window and just blast?
Yes.
Guiding bolt.
You fire that sucker off. All right, so Robbie, this is going to kill them. How does this look like? Show me your magic.
I guess a beam of light just shoots over to him and he explodes.
Okay.
I assume he's made of water, right?
I mean, we're all made of water.
Water.
He's
water,
made of goo.
Water, water.
I mean literally. Like he's turning into some sort of water thing.
That is definitely a fair assumption, but you do notice almost instantly that he might not have been exploding. It's really difficult to tell exactly what the hell was going on with this individual. And you see them just sort of fumble and fall and just kind of like rolling smack into the water.
Did he dissolve or so he just disappeared?
No, but from a distance, as you guys kind of rush to the back, you can see you and the crew and Ma can all see this body kind of float back first, just floating in the water. Skin still looks like skin. You can even tell from this distance it's still shimmering. Whatever the hell it is, but he didn't explode. He wasn't made of water. He's not dissolving. He's still very much human. There's just something wrong with him.
Okay. So I basically just knocked him off then.
Yes.
Captain? What the hell happened?
First, you hear her just clack, 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 walking down the steps. And then she meets with the three of you. She looks at all of you and just says, I'm sorry, what the hell was that?
I don't know. He was just acting weird and then he attacked.
Who was with him last night? He was fine last night. I raised my voice and shout out.
Seems like we'll have to investigate this.
Better be quick. Corpse is floating away.
She sniffs at the air. Oh, don't worry. He's being taken care of. Aldrin, if you wouldn't mind... And she kind of thinks for a moment. You don't get queasy easily, do you?
No.
Behind you. Check that crate. And behind you, you can see the crate he was the pile he was pulling from. There are various crates, but they don't look ordered properly. They look as if someone kind of like bumped it.
I will look at them, look inside.
As you turn and look, you can actually see that something bad happened here. There are various claw marks next to a crate and then next to another crate as you kind of walk and strafe around them. And behind these crates, you can find a body that was hastily hidden. A corpse covered in bites and claw marks. The bites are small and look human. And from what you can tell, the scratches come in sets of 5. And they look small enough to have been the person that just fell off the boat.
As in, he nibbled on them?
Looks like it. And she kind of
munching.
She kind of sniffs at the air again and says, I thought there was something else down here. She's looking over your shoulder at the body. Damn. We lost 2 good men today. She turns quickly and points to some of the crewmates, and they kind of like, shit, alright. And they get to effectively cleaning up. There's blood that's been splattered on the tables, on the crates, on this area. Well, this doesn't stop or slow down what we need to do. Finish unloading. We can discuss this later tonight. And she ascends the stairs.
I will help them clean that up because that's nasty.
I'm taking a look at Aldrin and just go, hope it's not infectious though.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I don't want to get near it. It's too late to save, right?
Too late to say what?
The dead guy, yes.
Yeah.
He's very much dead, yes.
All right.
Not until you're level 5.
Damn it. I mean, I have spared the dying.
If he's only dead, he can't
He's
be
dead.
They have to be alive for that to work.
He is dead.
They have to be on the way to dead.
On the way to
I mean,
die.
if you
yeah.
want,
The key word
I
is spare
can,
the dying.
defibrillate him.
Yeah.
All right,
Just being hopeful.
you're good. You're good. I mean, do you investigate the corpse?
Sure.
Like, I think there's nothing really for me to investigate unless there's like a magical presence, which I doubt, but
Yeah. I mean, I want to know the cause,
like,
right? Although I
is
probably
there any
should have.
kind of magical anything coming from it? Otherwise, I'm just gonna ignore it.
I probably should have investigated him.
Yeah. I want to
Potentially.
check his body for anything weird before we throw him out the window or whatever we do with a corpse in the middle
Sure.
of the ocean.
Go ahead and roll investigation. as well.
Seaman's burial.
With your powers combined, you guys essentially discover that there is nothing magical here. His wounds seem to be festering in the way that wounds would in a very human environment such as this. They're not bubbling or oozing anything strange. He just looks dead. There was a fight, some sort of altercation. You can tell that they were pushed about a bit. However he was hit was pretty rushed. from what you can tell. There was almost a box toppled on top of him, but something happened. There was a misunderstanding or a miscommunication, and it looks like it was just a sudden burst of violence. He was scratched across the face, punched in the gut, it looks like, bit on the neck. Just this kind of outlash does not normally happen or occur. So he completely got caught unawares.
Anything weird about the crates themselves that would catch my eye?
Nothing strange with the crates. They just seem like product. If anything, this location just happened to be the location of his death. There's nothing special about it, unfortunately.
I'm assuming
Sarabi's covered in spices on the side.
Spices?
She'll be fine.
Spicy.
Yeah, he smashed a crate over you. So.
Oh.
You smell good. You smell good. You're pungent. You smell good.
Wait, what kind of spices are they?
Elaborate on the spices
Like-
we must know.
Lega's like doing some calculations on how much gold he just lost.
More than you're probably willing to properly calculate. Things like turmeric, cumin, things of that nature.
Oh, that's a big loss.
Well,
We finish unpacking the boat. Aldrin, you assist with the body and the cleanup. Do you help as well, Sarabi?
As long as I don't have to touch the body, yes.
How do you feel around blood?
I'm okay with blood.
Okay.
I'm a cleric. I have to see the dying.
Hey, you can still be squeamish. You all help clean and finish unpacking. And by this note, you can actually see a couple other folk came from the other groups, and a few other crew members kind of looked down here like, holy shit, someone died. And while all this was happening, there were a few people that actually saw from outside that a body was basically flung out the boat. And of course, there are many people rubbernecking and trying to figure out what the hell is happening. Other than that, things go back to normal. Maul gets everyone back into shape. And about an hour or two after this altercation, we are back to the ocean.
Wait, so do we just onload a bunch of boxes or offload a bunch of boxes?
A little bit of both, but it was mostly offloading.
So wait, was that like a pit stop?
Yep.
I need to go shower or bathe or something.
All right, while we are stopped off, understandably, she lets you wash the product off yourself.
And I scrub my outfit very, very carefully.
It isn't damaged, but the spices in particular were quite colorful and very pungent, so that smell's going to linger a bit, and there's like one or two spots that you might have got some blood plus spices on. That's not a great
I
combination.
haven't even gotten to the damn
You don't have
island yet.
prestidigitation?
Sorry, what?
What? Should have learned prestidigitation.
I have thaumaturgy. That's about it.
same.
I mean, you can make it look clean in that case.
Oh, it's not the same.
I use thaumaturgy and make it look clean.
Blood be gone. Boop.
All right,
Even though it's
never
still technically
now. Now, never drop that ever.
there.
I was
I mean, it's like cantrip.
it
you have
lasts
to
for a
recast
minute.
it. Yeah, but
Well,
you can
I guess
recast
you
it
have
every
to-
minute.
Yeah, you have to cast it
For
forever.
the rest of your life.
But you can do it too.
This is your life now.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure you can ask one of the wizards on the ship to prestidigitate you.
Prestidigitate you?
Yeah.
I like that.
Get your clothes clean. The wizard dry cleaning business.
I'm assuming we have enough time to take a short rest after that.
Oh, very much so, yes.
Okay.
I don't think I get anything back from short rest anyway. So
I get my health back.
Health back is
Okay.
very important. Also, to clarify, I know we're already using the rule, but short rests are 10 minutes, long rests are the usual, and the full rest is a full 24 hours of doing nothing. So it has to be a full day of absolutely nothing. All right, so we seem pretty healthy, maybe slightly shaken up. You see a few folk that are kind of like, what the shit was that? But other than that, the ship moves on. Another day comes to its end, and we all meet together for a nice dinner. What do you guys all talk about? It's night. Since we just restocked back up, we have meat. It seems to be some sort of chicken or duck.
I want to praise Lekka on that maneuver.
Yeah, that was fancy.
yes.
Do you do stuff like that a lot?
It's very useful for combat on ship. Luckily, I usually avoid it if I can. It's not good for business.
Fair. Also, Aldrin, nice muscles. Winky.
Thanks. Oh no.
Nice
Oh,
change
no.
of pace.
Just throwing it out a window.
Well, he didn't blow up, but you know.
This is true. As you guys are discussing throwing the suit out the window and doing some dope flying shit, Audrey approaches you all. As a reminder, she is Jack the Jeweler's bodyguard. She's over 6 feet tall. She has long black hair that is normally wearing in a tight ponytail. You can see as she sort of scoots over to sit next to you. Her muscles ripple beneath her smooth olive skin. Her attire is primarily a light armor with like loose pantaloons. It's pretty well suited for tropical climates, boating, being out in a boot, if you will. And she is wielding 2 swords and a crossbow. And she sits across from you all with a pretty stern look on her face. Gives you a nod. Says, "Hello? I believe you spoke before."
Yes.
Yes, hello.
Adventurer,
Yeah.
right?
Bodyguard, but yes.
Yeah, close enough.
Same thing.
Do you mind if I ask about the... She points down.
Terrible waste of money.
And yeah, not that part. The, and she kind of like motions with her thumb across her throat, like,
Yes.
Sure, but we don't know much.
Yeah, there's not too much to know.
anything you can tell me helps. I'm paid to do one thing, and that one thing is protect. She points backwards to Jack, who is drinking heavily with his love, and they're kind of having a good time. I gotta protect him. If there's any weird shit in this boat, I gotta know about it.
Well, his skin was kind of watery, shimmery, and he kept
Slimy too.
growing.
Bloating is word.
Bloating. Yes, bloating.
She
Yeah,
narrows her eyes and like nods slowly, like, okay.
I'll look over Aldrin. So far, it does not look infectious, at least.
I scoot away from Aldrin.
what's wrong?
I don't want to catch that.
It's not contagious. I'm
What will
fine.
my sister do without me? God.
Come give me a hug. Come on.
I scoot farther away.
Come on. It's good teamwork. Come give me a hug.
Nope.
Oh.
She like nervously laughs and says, "You are joking about the whole infectious thing, right?"
Yeah,
Probably.
I think so. Hopefully.
Well. Won't find out until later. No need to worry about it now.
Yes, if he suddenly disappears and we're in mourning, you'll know.
All right. Well, to be safe, try to keep your
Keep an eye.
slime away from my guy. We should be good.
Well, I think we'll also know in 24 hours, because I swear that guy was fine last night.
All right then. And she puts her hands on the
Best if
table.
we investigate a bit, though. The season boat is not good.
Noted. I'll definitely keep an eye out. She puts her hands on the table, gives you guys a quick, curt nod, and she heads back to her group. As we're out and about, let's say a few more days pass, you guys can go ahead and regenerate your HPs and such. As you guys are kind of hanging out, she asks for a few more bits of help, specifically from Lekka. Like, hey, do you sense anything? Do you feel anything? And in general, the weather seems, to you, Lekka, almost strangely calm for how far out you guys are. She dropped off some materials, picked up some packages and such, but now you guys have been at sea for 3 days. Hopefully, according to her and her crew, you guys are stocked up for at least a week. And during this unfortunate delay and this lack of awesome island, she does not let up or relent. Everyone's still working their hardest. The crew is fine, but some of the mercenaries are getting a little restless. Like, all right, she's got money, but she isn't paying us till we get there. Did we waste our time? You're kind of getting that vibe from people, and it's very like, we're not going to say anything because she outnumbers us, but like, turning back now would make us look weak, so we'll just kind of keep our mouths shut and see where this brings us. Essentially the mood, but it's definitely getting a wee bit rough. But just before maybe they consider complaining, we think we hit gold.
Boy.
The waters.
Why do you say it so ominously, though?
I don't know.
Now we're dead.
Now you just suddenly explode. Just your character just implodes.
I refuse to die.
That's the ancient dragon turtle that wife wanted.
Oh no.
He'll be your buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You want a friend, right?
Mhm.
He's a very hungry friend. Is that fine?
That's fine.
Okay, good.
Lekka's looking around at the bubbles floating around. This is not normal.
No, it's not normal.
Mm.
That's intentional?
That's intentional. The weather
stopping
seems to initially calm itself. The seas and the wind almost completely stop. And you guys almost hit just dead air, dead water. Looking over the side, you see no sign of life. And things get unnaturally quiet for a moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel that out.
Oh, very much so. You felt this before. You weren't sure what it was, but you remember it. This is the same feeling you got. The exact same feeling when you ran to this island.
I'll be running to the captain.
she's looking about as it starts to get a little foggy, and as you're running on over, as Aldrin said, they're like not, they're bubbles, but like not, begin to like form around you guys. And it begins to rain very, very lightly. She looks up and sees that there are no clouds. Like, where the hell is the rain coming from? Is it coming like from the mist itself? Okay. And she looks to you rushing over, Lekka.
It's here. It's here. This is it. It has to be. Somewhere around here.
She points to the fog. Do we need to do something, or does it just happen naturally? Which direction?
How did it happen naturally last time?
You literally just ran into it. You're not sure. You were out just kind of doing your thing, delivering, and it kind of just happened. So you can tell her whatever you want.
Well, wind's dead. Ship won't go anywhere.
She looks up
Just
and
see
sees
where it brings you.
See where the lack of wind brings us?
Worked for me last time.
Well, okay then, sure. All right, men, you heard him. Let's do nothing and see where this brings us. As she sees kind of a bubble float by her. Are these normal?
Definitely not.
Perfect. And she smiles widely at that. All right, everyone. Hold on for whatever is going to or not going to happen. And she just sort of braces the banister in front of her, holds on. You see kind of everyone move around. They just kind of grab onto whatever rope and whatever they can. And suddenly you feel the boat essentially begin to spin and like pivot on its own.
I'll tell Eldrin and Sarabi to follow me as I climb up to the big mast. All the way
I'm not so
up.
good at climbing.
Sure.
Quick, you'll miss it.
I'm not so good at climbing.
I climbed up from hell, so I can do it.
Okay.
Okay, that might have been an exaggeration.
I don't want to be here anymore.
My OC don't steal. You tell her that just to make everybody like feel like off. It's like what is wrong with her?
Forever.
Yes.
It takes forever to climb up, but I get up there eventually.
Oh, is a big tall man afraid of heights?
I'm just not good at climbing.
Okay, I believe you.
As you climb up and we move about, you begin to see a very strange thing happen. The bubbles begin to coalesce. They begin
bigger.
Indeed. They begin to bump into each other and grow larger and larger.
I'm sorry, Hub. How are you doing this?
With magic. I am a mage, after all. I have studied the arts.
Storm sorcerer magic. Yes.
Yeah, he knows. In fact, the bubbles end up getting huge. You can't really pop them. If you like poke it, your arm kind of like phases through it. It feels very staticky, very tingly when it touches your flesh. Yes?
Arcana check.
You may.
I want to hit one with my mace.
I just want to see what kind of magic.
Well,
or if it is magic.
Magic-y magic.
So it is very much magic. You cannot tell what kind of magic it is, but it is very much indeed magic. As you go to kind of whack one with your mace, it as it like travels through the bubble, it slows, and then upon your mace leaving, it like jumps out almost like too fast.
I don't like these bubbles.
And you see the rest of the
time I love them.
Yeah, so the rest of the crew are like kind of touching and messing with them, and you notice the bubbles begin to stick to things. They stick to like your shoulder, like your elbow. The one that like you just like swung through slowly meanders and like sticks to your mace. And you see they begin to stick to the boat as well, and they get larger and larger.
Hold fast as I cling to the mast itself.
I will also cling to the mast.
As you all begin to cling, you can kind of see everyone else doing the same thing, and Ma is shouting orders, but her voice, while it does travel, you guys are definitely a ways up. And the rain, the moisture, whatever it is coming from this fog is just getting thicker and thicker, and the rain is falling heavier, and it seems to be phasing through the bubbles at various speeds, faster and slower. And as the bubbles begin to coalesce and build around this ship, they almost essentially cover it. And you can kind of feel the ship like lurch and then move and start to like wriggle as it's spinning. It like stops for a moment, but doesn't. It feels so strange, almost like the boat's being lifted. You hear the water like push back, but then it kind of splashes up against the boat. So it's not being like fully lifted, but the boat is being moved and like transported in a way. And suddenly it just like launches off at a breakneck speed, but no wind is pushing it. Fortunately, everyone that is holding on does not just go flying, but you guys are having to hold on for like dear life. And as you are,
This is gonna mess up my fur, isn't it?
potentially, yes. Looking around you, just the water, the rain just spattering and just smacking you in the face, and you kind of have to turn away from it because it's almost aggressive. It actually almost kind of hurts. It's hitting you so hard, and you can hear multiple people like shouting and moving and trying to like help things. People are shouting up to you guys. You're not entirely sure why. And looking out and around, you cannot see past this fog, and the fog seems dark actually at the edges. The further it goes in, it doesn't just become a white mist of nothingness. It's almost like the fog is changing color or obscuring or something else before you have much time to think about it. The whole ship kind of lurches and you're holding on, but you kind of bump your head into the mast or whatever you're holding on to. And you hear multiple oofs at the same time, just kind of across the whole boat. And suddenly, all around you, the bubbles seem to be gone. The fog begins to pull back. And as they pop, they return to their plane, their realm, wherever they came from. Everything begins to return to normal, or whatever normal may be.
Lekka is frantically looking around, searching for the island.
The ship is at an odd angle, parked on a beach of black sand. You look around, and you realize that this is it. You have indeed arrived.
Despite it being very obvious that we're all on land, Lekka's still gonna yell, "Land ho!"
You hear someone actually give a good laugh at that. I was like, what? Okay. And they definitely sort of half appreciate the maybe joke, maybe not joke, not entirely sure. But looking about, everyone seems to be safe. Just below you, you still hear some folks, some crew members shouting up, but they're not shouting at you guys. They're shouting at someone else, a figure you don't recognize. And looking straight down from where you guys climbed, you actually see a figure of an old man clinging, desperately clinging, just arms and legs wrapped around rope. Rope is wrapped around him, and he's looking up specifically to Aldrin. And you notice and recognize a very particular person, Aldrin. Someone that you're not sure how they're here. This is your family's butler, Edmund.
What the hell?
He looks panicked, like, holy shit. He looks up, he says, Master, good Master Aldrin, are you safe?
Yes, but what the hell are you doing here?
I couldn't let you go off alone, good boy.
Oh my god.
I didn't tell your family, but I have to ensure your safety. It's my job.
Just go back home. I'm fine.
I don't think I can do that. He is soaked. He's like shaking.
Well, you shouldn't really be here, but I guess you're kind of stuck now.
That does indeed seem to be the case, good sir. And, well, I will not be going anywhere. Regardless of how you feel about it, it is my job to watch after you. And to, I guess, by extension, watch after your friends. He slowly kind of waves, but he's like holding very tightly onto this rope.
Aw, he said I'm your friend.
He takes off his glasses and wipes them on his wet shirt, accomplishing nothing.
Butler, sounds like you have good money.
I'm gonna climb down with him.
All right, he shakily, half because he's scared, but he's indeed trying his absolute best to hide it, and half because he is indeed soaked. And as you guys descend, you notice that everyone is just completely soaked.
Is he old?
Yes,
that
he's old. Yeah, he's indeed old.
Like 50s old or 80s old?
I'd say probably closer to like 60.
Okay.
I'm gonna whisper to him and be like, all right, you can be here because there's not really any other choice, but don't let everyone else know that I'm, royalty, even though I kind of have the crest out.
I think we kind of know, Aldrin.
Shut up.
Yes, good sir. You should probably consider hiding that, actually. You should
probably consider changing those rich clothes.
Also that, yes. Everyone here seems to be suited for combat, and you seem to be suited for the ball.
Yes, I like this old man.
I got armor on. I don't know how they can hear us. We're all the way down here.
I am not sure either. I guess our voices are traveling.
I followed you down, damn it.
I can hear from the winds. They speak to me.
How rude.
Damn it, I hate it here.
Well, all the same, I will stick close to you, but not so close that I will be bothering you. I'm entirely aware of why you're here, Sir Aldrin. I want to look after you, but I also want you to experience the world. So, do your thing, have fun, but please, stay safe. Could you promise me that?
Yeah, maybe.
And he kind of gives you like a sly smile, like, little more confidence than that.
You.
Oh, you don't need to worry about me. I've served your family for years, for decades even.
He'll do his best, Master Edmund.
You're getting up there in the years, you know.
I'm not going to be
down.
I'm not going to be joining you on this adventure. I'm just going to be here, just looking out for you. But, well, an adventurer, someone that wants to see the world, should have more confidence. You will come back safely. Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
He's just going to be here to tell you to stay a while and listen.
He smirks at the shirt and says, "I'll get yes out of you."
Don't worry, if he dies, I got him covered.
He gives you a smile and a nod, Robbie. Well then, I will make myself scarce and try to find myself new clothes.
Just so you know, Aldrin, if I do end up saving your life, I will expect payment.
I don't have any money.
Well, I'll take it on loan.
Just because my family's got money doesn't mean I have anything. I kind of left them.
I'm pretty sure that master intends you to go back.
It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Looking about, he kind of blends into the rest of the crew and makes himself scarce. But you see Ma looks absolutely ecstatic as you walk up to her. She is just beaming.
I didn't so much walk up to her. I jumped off the mast and used a bit of wind magic to not fall to my death, basically.
Excellent. And you land next to her, and she doesn't really pay you too much mind. She doesn't look at you, but she's smiling and looking left and looking right as her crew is they're trying to just de-soak themselves. They're shaking off and attempting to get warm. Without facing you, she says, "Is this it?"
Yes, as promised. An island delivered.
I knew I could trust on you. Most excellent. Well, let's depart then, shall we?
Sounds like adventure. Yes.
She smiles very widely at that as everyone begins to sort of gather up, and the boat is very kind of awkwardly smashed up against the side of some rocks and this sand here. So they'll figure out a way to get that all fixed up, of course. But not long after her crew and everyone kind of reorienting themselves, she kind of looks about a bit and effectively calls for everyone to come to the front, basically, for an announcement.
By the way, how's my fur look?
Roll me dexterity.
I guess I will hide the family crest.
Are you ripping it off, or...?
Not just shoving it in a pocket.
Okay, that works. You're able to wriggle about just enough, Sarabi, that your fur is not completely ruined, but you're definitely a little scuffed. You'll need some tending,
like me to dry you a bit?
No.
I was going to dry it anyway.
Oh, no!
Subtle drying.
She gets flung off board.
Later.
I make it a gentle wind. Give her some airtime.
I will try to go with the flow so it doesn't rub my fur backwards.
Like going through one of the drive-through car washes. But for a kitsune.
It even makes like the... It's weirdly warm, though.
Smiling down to her crew and to all these folk that decided to join on this adventure. Ma has her hands on her hips, looking very proud that we've all arrived, and we're a few lesser, but all the same, we are indeed here. Well, I'm glad to see you've all made it, and all have joined me. Unfortunately, some of you were lost along the way, and as she looks to each person, she kind of sees their general responses and such. I hope that doesn't scare anyone. I did say this would be somewhat tumultuous. I do believe your terms of payment are in order. As she turns, she points to the island. That is our goal. This is somewhere, to my knowledge, no one's ever been. There's no useful, we'll say, information regarding this island. So, and she rustles about in a bag and pulls out a pouch full of gold, and you can hear her kind of clinking it in her hand as she throws it in the air and then catches it. Got some weight to it. She smirks again and says, "Any information you can bring back to me regarding the wildlife, creatures, plants, the denizens of this island, any rare items or artifacts, I will pay for. It's up to you to earn your keep here, and I expect you all to put in good work, yes?"
Aye, aye, Captain.
You
Will
receive
do.
many ayes from everyone. They all seem quite excited now that we've actually gotten here. Well, while I do expect all of you to look out for yourselves, lodge and board will be, as per usual, provided here. We have enough food for about 6 more days, so I will expect you to forage for yourselves, to a degree, of course. I do have to feed all my men, after all, assuming we didn't lose anyone else in that storm.
Oh my.
All the same, welcome to the island, and have fun.
I take a peek at the island.
It is...
Jurassic Park.
Loading.
That's a big boy.
That's a big boy. Indeed it is. Alrighty. This is a fun, cute map that was provided by the creators. I love it. It is absolutely adorable. So your characters can move freely here. As you can see, I can scoot Sarabi like this. You guys aren't locked to anything. This will let you kind of have your token, but also be able to see what is in the hex. So this is a hex crawl. Let me quickly tell you basically how the mechanics work. I can copy paste this somewhere, but it's relatively straightforward. In fact, I will probably go ahead and do that. If you guys check the GM screen, we have group goals, Aldrin notes, Lekka, Robbie, etc., etc. As you guys can see, so what she said is any information you guys can bring back, and I do take this seriously, so any notes you take on animals, creatures, anything you find, the denizens, if you jot that down, write it somewhere, and you bring it to her. If she deems it useful, then you will get money for it. Basically how you guys will receive cool shit here. You guys are currently on hex HS13, so that's Hot Spring, and there's a number of hexes here. Basically, the way this works is we will say right now it is about 12. So that's relevant because basically how this works is you can do an action while you're on a hex. Actions are, you can do one of 4 things. You can investigate a point of interest further. You guys are currently on a point of interest. You can explore the current hex, which is basically the same thing. Exploring a point of interest, I'll let you know what those are. You can travel to a neighboring hex, or you can travel to a known point of interest. Each action costs 4 hours. So basically this game works in sections of watches. So it's called a watch. So each watch is 4 hours. Each day is 6 watches. 6 times 4, 24 hours. Basically what happens is each hex has a number of things in it. So to be really clear, each hex has more than one thing to find in it. So for example, on this first hex, you can technically look into it 3 times. So basically, as a group, you guys will decide what to do, where to go. If you want to go to a different hex, it takes 4 hours. If you want to stay in the same hex and look, it takes 4 hours, etc., etc. As mentioned, you guys already have rested, so you're fine. But each lookout is 4 hours. So you guys need to be careful where you end up and where you rest, because you can't just warp back to the boat. And the boat is going to be on HS13. So, where the crocodile is, basically.
Delay.
Yeah. So as you guys move about, you don't want to end up somewhere where you're going to die and you can't rest. As I mentioned before, this place is rather dangerous. It can be rather dangerous. So just letting you know.
If we wander out, maybe like say 12 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to get back to the boat, do we pass through, or is it 4 hours no matter what?
4 hours. So if you move out 4, it'll take 4 to get back. So if you take 12 hours to get somewhere, it'll take 12 hours to get back. It takes 4 hours to go to each hex.
Okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, there are safe havens, obviously. This isn't just an island of pure death. There's a lot of fun stuff here. Just keep that in mind as you guys are adventuring. Over on the distance, you guys can see plenty of green where we have currently landed. It's a little difficult to see as there's fog and various mountain ridges and very, very, very deep forest areas, effectively obscuring what we can and cannot see.
Can I see a mountain?
Directly ahead of you guys, past what seems to be a statue, you guys can indeed see a mountain. And that is to the west of your current location.
Yes. Get to a high place. Good vantage point. Good start.
That works.
Yeah,
Stuff
and
to see.
I'm content to explore this area.
But you guys just landed. We're unpacking. You see the other groups are also getting ready to kind of go about their own way. And a lot of them effectively tell you, like, hey, no hard feelings. You guys do your own thing. We're going to do our own thing. Because, we're all kind of here for ourselves. So, good luck.
No, you think too short-sighted. All the other groups will be exploring this part. Nothing
Yeah,
left
that's what
for
I was
us.
thinking.
We go to a mountain. See what's there. Think of all the
I
money.
like the way you think, Lekka.
So travel to a neighboring hex.
Yeah.
To the highest point we can from this point, basically.
Because I was just thinking that we should probably understand our return base, but we can do that later.
Sure. I'll give you guys some quick free info for this first area. It's a steaming beach. The first thing you see is large rocks smoothed by the tide make up the beach in this area. Plumes of steam erupt each time a wave reaches the shoreline. The rocky stretch runs for about 1,000 feet.
Is there actually a hot spring?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Not in this current location, not like right where we are, but there's most likely a hot spring here.
Okay. So travel through is 4 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us info while we're traveling through?
So basically, once you guys enter the area, I'll give you information for where you've landed. So you guys start here, and the forest itself is full of life. You hear animals, things are rustling about. It's very humid. It's quite warm here, actually. Unsurprising. And the closer you guys move over to the west, the warmer it becomes. All right. The first thing we see upon moving in is a 30-acre swath of ash and charred vegetation. It cuts abruptly through a lush jungle on the lower slopes of the mountains. There are shattered weapons, melted armor, and broken remains of skeletons that are strewn throughout this devastation. The damage to the land has clearly been caused by numerous brutal and fiery skirmishes. Salamander tails dangle from the hooks at the northern end of this area, and spears holding the skewered heads of ogres decorate the south.
All right. So we got natives
Mm-hmm.
and
Wonderful.
ogres.
Something bloody happened here. There's a bunch of heads and a bunch of tails skewered.
Are they fresh or aged?
They are definitely aged. Some are aged down to the bone.
Or is there anything fresh?
There is one fresh head.
All right.
And by fresh, I mean probably about a day or so.
So the natives are nearby. Does it look like a warning setup?
Very much so. This is basically a do not cross.
Uh-huh.
All right, I vote we go around and find our mountain.
Are we not already on it?
Yes. So basically, you guys had to travel through a mountain to get here.
Oh, well, what did we
Yes.
see on the top of the mountain?
Looking about, behind you, you can see the boat. You can see a very large but somewhat dilapidated statue of a beautiful woman. To the south of this location, you see more, to the north of this location, on looking from the mountains, you can see an encampment. There are various trees that have been cleared away. You see the corpses of some large sea animals, but it's difficult to tell exactly what they are. There are figures in the distance moving about, but once again, they are quite far away. To the west of here, you guys can both see and feel heat. Looking upwards, you guys can actually see what seems to be, in the center of this map, a volcano. It is approximately 1 hex to... I'm not going to reveal it because I like this map, but it shows a lot of shit, just way too much. 1 hex to your guys' left, and then 1 hex up seems to be the top of the volcano.
Beans. Humanoid?
Humanoid, quote unquote, yes.
That's a very wide description in this world.
Yes.
Because Lekka's also humanoid.
Yes. They're humanoid like
Got
Lekka's
arms
humanoid.
Scaly, furry.
They're far away, it's hard to tell, but they're definitely not human.
Are they
They have
colorful?
shapes.
They're very colorful, yes.
Okie dokes.
And there's no greenery over this direction. It is a volcano, a massive mountain that seems to be, you're not sure how much further it goes, but probably the center of the island would make the most sense.
Is there anything we can see on the north side of the mountain?
North from where you guys are, you can see encampments
Oh boy.
with figures moving around that are not the same. They look different. These ones have a flesh tone similar to Sarabi and all, a little darker, but they are mostly hiding in the jungle, it seems.
It would appear there's a lot of life on this island.
Yes.
For being something that's hard to find, there is a lot.
Yes.
Good to know. So any of you happen to know how to draw maps? Lekka asks.
Nope.
Should have kept that dwarf.
What dwarf?
Guy I ferried over a few weeks back.
Oh.
Like making maps, apparently.
I will say, not related to the map creation, you can easily do that. So any information I give you guys can be jotted down into a map you guys want to physically draw up, or anything you want to mess with. You guys can technically draw on this map, just keep it somewhat limited so you can kind of see where we are and whatnot. If you want to leave a note of this place sucks. The 3 of you, as you're looking around, if you could give me a perception check. As you're...
I live in a cave, I can't see well.
As you guys are looking about, you initially think, well, we see life in the distance, but there's nothing here. Before you leave, Sarabi, you hear something moving about in the bushes.
With my fox ears, right?
With your fox, tell me what your fox ears hear.
Death.
Shouldn't you tell me? By the way, they're white in the picture. They're actually black.
Your ears?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna throw this on here. You see this, Sarabi. Describe what you see to them.
Oh, I see it, not
You-
hear it.
You first hear it, and then you turn and see it. There's
It's
a creature.
Joke about.
Yeah, basically. You see a creature kind of moving about the brush. One of them actually is picking at the tail of a salamander.
I think it's a bird. It's got long legs, but it's kind of squat and feathery.
That sounds
doesn't-
adorable. I want to write it.
It doesn't look very nice.
Oh, maybe I don't want to write it.
Wait, how big is it? How big are they?
It's about 4 feet tall, so they're
Uh,
relatively
I
large.
can write them.
Yeah, you can.
It does like salamander tails, apparently, so you could potentially try bribing it if you actually want to ride it.
I will hide my tail.
Good idea.
You only see two
Unlike
of them.
salamanders, my tail does not grow back.
Sounds like a defect.
You get some, you lose some.
The creature sort of zips in and rips some flesh off, and the other one kind of does the same. They're being incredibly cautious.
Yeah, it's probably dangerous. Good for food, though. Yeah.
So, what do you want to eat them?
I mean,
Better check
we
if
gotta
there's
have
more.
food somewhere. The boat isn't.
True. Feel like we probably need to sneak up on them, and I am not very good at that, though.
Might want to see if there's more of them.
Yeah, that too.
Did they by any chance leave a trail, or are they really sneaky?
It looks as if they came from the north. They don't really seem to like the mountainous area. They're not completely opposed to it, but they definitely seem more comfortable in the jungle.
Makes sense.
As you guys are waiting and watching them, you hear out in the distance a whoop, whoop, whoop. And then they kind of look around, and then they look back to where the sound came from, and then they kind of move back.
So what do I see from where the sound came from?
You see some scurrying and shifting. You hear another whoop, and you can tell it's coming from that bird. They're whooping at each other, and they move off.
So,
Whooping at each
as
other.
in there's like a third bird, or
Probably a couple more, yeah.
Potentially more. Are we being surrounded?
Nope, they're moving away. They didn't notice you.
Well, if you want to catch one, you're gonna have to be quick.
You know, we should probably follow them if we want food.
sure. Can I also
Sneakily
just
follow
say I changed into something a bit more practical too.
That makes sense, yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't want to ruin my pretty outfit any more than it's already been ruined.
It's fine.
Besides, I ate 2 days ago? I'll be fine for a few more days.
I mean, they did feed you every day. If that's what you're wondering, they definitely fed you.
I mean, there's sailors on the ship in the middle
I
of the
mean-
ocean. Makes
I
sense.
mean, a good meal. Food will only take me so far.
Alrighty, moving northward. Are we moving north left or north right?
Which way are the birds going, I
just
guess?
Wherever the birds are going.
Birds seem to be going right.
Also, what time of the day is it now?
It is, sorry, we're using army time, 4. Alrighty, moving
wanna-
over this direction.
While they're keeping track of them, I want to keep a lookout for like anything that might be possibly following us because it was a weird area.
Very much so, yes. You don't seem to initially see anything, so you assume you're safe.
Okay.
Carefully moving through the jungle as you do, we've come up to a new area. As you guys look about and push through the forested zone, you see numerous outcroppings of basalt that rise from the ocean and along a very broad beach. There are bloated carcasses of gigantic gray whales that litter a half mile of the shoreline. White bones are strewn across this black sand. You see many seabirds that nest on these outcroppings, staining portions of the basalt yellow and pink with their droppings. And among this, you also see a few outcroppings of what seem to be ogres, but they are far off in the distance.
And ogres are the heads from down here, right?
Correct, yes. Remember, any notes you guys keep and bring back to Martell is money in your pocket.
So they do wander pretty far.
Mhm.
Okay, can we see these dead whales?
You looking up towards the north of the boys. You do indeed see a bunch of dead whales, but they are being tended to. They are not alone.
Tended? As in treated or eaten?
Both.
Not
I assume they're
treated for eating.
yes, that.
There you go.
Aha, okay.
They're being farmed.
And hang on, is this an ogre with pigs?
So like I said, technically that is one of the things you can find. I know, so I will say this. I love this map. It's really cute, but it does spoil some things. If you explore this area, you'll find the second, so for spoilers, I'll go ahead and say it now. The second note of this area is a boar farm. But yes, there is indeed a boar farm. You guys can't technically see it. It is blank.
It's adorable.
It is very cute. I agree, yes.
All right, so are ogres generally friendly in this world?
Depends. Usually no.
They're probably big and dumb.
Also, you guys have indeed followed the zip boards, but they are long gone. They flew through the forest.
Shit.
They did have long legs. Did they leave a path, a trail?
They left a very, very hard to see trail. It seems they are understandably well acclimated to this and do not want to be followed or eaten.
All right, can we investigate this little village? This island is kind of out of nowhere. Maybe they're not that dumb, or maybe they're even dumber. They do have a pig farm. Yeah, so I want to investigate the area.
Okay.
Are you guys cool with that?
Sorry, what, you're going to look around?
Yeah, because if all we're seeing is shrubbery, then we do need to investigate anyway.
Yeah, so to be clear, with this one, you can do two things.
As long as we don't go too close to the settlements, basically, yeah.
Yeah. So you can do two things. If you explore the current hex, you can find basically the next point of interest, which is the boar farm. So I'm going to go ahead and spoil this to be really clear about how the mechanics work. So the one where it says explore current hex, that will basically let you know the next thing. The first thing you found upon entering was the whale graveyard. So that was the first one. The second one is this boar farm. So if you explore this hex, you'll find the boar farm. If you choose to investigate the whale graveyard, I'll give you even more information. So when it says investigate a point of interest further, that's what that means.
Yeah, it is getting late, so we probably don't have time to do everything.
It's 20 o'clock.
20 o'clock, oh no.
It's probably we have to go back by now. Otherwise, we will be back at midnight, so.
All right, so back we go.
Are we going back to the boat?
Yeah. This place seems a little wild as far as sleeping outside.
I guess we go back to boat.
All right, back to boat it is. And you see that they've actually set up camp now that you've returned. I will say this, as you guys are leaving, you do actually hear someone moving about. Before
Close?
you semi-close to you guys. As you move about southward, returning to your landing point, you get the feeling you're being watched. You're not sure if this person is aggressive or if they're just curious. But someone's definitely watching you from the bushes.
Hello? Is anyone there?
You call out. You're shifting of the leaves, but no response.
You know I can hear you, right?
This time you hear nothing. They're staying quiet. You can feel a presence. There's someone there.
All right. Maybe next time.
I will climb up a tree.
Okay. Are you trying to get a better view?
Yes. As well as stay out of view myself.
Okay. Are you trying to ensure he doesn't see, or are you just climbing the tree?
A little bit of both. Mostly I want to make sure I don't get seen.
Okay. Roll me stealth. As you climb, you don't really see him react. And looking down, you actually see a blue figure. He's staring directly at Sarabi and all. He has weapons drawn, but not necessarily in an aggressive way. He is indeed just walking. His scales are light blue, and he seems to be wearing some kind of necklace that he's fiddling with, but he's just watching.
Did Leica tell us that?
Not yet. I would give away my position. I'm mostly gonna keep watching him for a bit, see if he does anything, and if not, I'm just gonna climb back down and tell them that we're being followed.
I will keep walking then to see.
He doesn't seem aggressive, but keep watch basically.
So I'll keep walking to let Leica see if he follows in any suspicious way, but I won't wander too far away from Leica.
Aldrin, how about you?
Well, if Sarabi's just kind of wandering off, I guess I will follow. I was going to do something else, but it's fine.
I mean, you could talk me out of it if you want to whisper it in my large, fluffy ears.
The thing I was going to do probably wouldn't have done anything.
Okay.
I mean, I can hold prisoner if you want.
Nah.
Now we can interrogate him now.
The two of you
It's probably best not to provoke the natives for now. So I'm gonna
Probably,
leave
yeah.
it. But Lekka himself is not all that combative, so he wants to stay away, but he's keeping an eye on it.
The two of you move to the south. And as you do, Lekka, you actually see him begin to move. Once again, his weapon is out, but you can tell from his expression he doesn't look angry. He looks inquisitive. And he's being very quiet. If you didn't see him move, you don't think you would have heard him. He's almost moving with the wind and with the animals around him, shifting with the nature. You see him
Then
get
how did
closer.
you hear
Don't
him
hear
in the
him.
first place?
He pressed on a twig or something.
Okay.
Simple mistake. What a fool. Now that he's gotten closer, you can get a better look at him, Mr. Lekka. The necklace he's wearing seems to have a large, bright red feather that's dangling from it. And he kind of ducks his head and kind of like nestles between a bush and a tree, just watching all that's around it.
Does the feather look like anything I've seen before? Like, is it a zipbird feather or?
It looks like it'd be similar size, but probably not, unless they come in different colors. Not from those. But he is relatively close to you now. Like,
Say, hey, it's draconic, as I look down on him.
okay. You look at him and say, hey, and he just like, good, like shit. And
I'll wave.
he's holding his weapon like ready to strike. But are you looking like completely non-combative since you're waving at him?
Yeah, I'm basically laying on a branch, looking down, waving at him.
Okay. His eyes narrow, like he's like ready to strike, and then he kind of slowly lowers his weapon, and then he nods, and you hear him say, "Hey," back. Except he says it in common.
Ah, you speak common, yes, yes.
And the hey was almost more of a question, and he kind of like sighs and goes, "Yes."
I'll jump down, extend my hand.
He looks about, and he doesn't touch you. He's a good like 5 feet from it. He points to Aldrin and Sarai. What do you do?
Did we hear the hay?
Definitely, yeah.
Then I'll stop and turn around,
Yeah.
but stay where I am.
He points to the other two, Lekka, almost as if to ask, like, "They with you?" He
We come to explore, yes?
slowly puts his weapon away. He doesn't shake your hand. He's standing about 5 feet away from you. Where do you come from?
Beyond the island, yes?
So more outsiders.
More outsiders?
He nods.
More that arrived today? Or more from
He
earlier?
just kind of motions. More. People like you come
Oh.
from before and die.
Die? How?
He just motions to the island. There is no escape from Hot Springs Island. You arrive here, you live here, you die here.
I'm afraid that doesn't work for
Yeah.
me.
Last time I got here, I didn't die. Then again, I did not get on the island.
He's not sure he believes you. He just kind of sort of narrows his eyes and like slowly nods.
Regardless, nice to meet you. I'm Lekka. And I'll point to Eldrin and Sarabi and introduce them as well.
His tension goes down a bit. My name is Horok.
And your people live here?
You say your people, and he kind of slowly nods. Yes, more of my kind indeed live here.
This is all very interesting to me.
It's complicated.
Would you be willing to give us a tour?
He kind of smiles at that. It's like, a tour?
Yeah, show us the island. To tell us, what to avoid, what's safe to eat.
Surely someone like you must have a lot of experience living here.
I don't know what we could trade you in return, but I'm sure we could come to some sort of agreement.
Yes, we have many things to trade.
He does seem interested. Go ahead and roll persuasion. He thinks for a moment, and looking up, the sun is mostly entirely set, and you guys can both see and feel the heat coming from the west, from the volcano. It's not erupting, but it's just constantly active.
Wow, it's that warm?
Yeah. And looking toward you, he says, "Not sure if I can trust you. We only just met. But it's getting late. If you find me later, maybe we can trade. You help me, I help you."
Sounds like a deal.
Sure.
Slowly nods that. "I'll be around."
Do we meet your
He thinks for a moment and says, "Currently, I am far from home.
I see.
I..."
Beyond mountains? I'll point to the west.
He slowly nods, and you can tell the concept of home and where he sleeps is kind of a sore point for some reason. Not entirely sure why.
I was just gonna say, you're really far from home if that's the case.
He nods and says, I make do with what I have. As I mentioned, complications.
Fair.
My home is far, but I will reside close by.
I'll just point to the general area where we came from.
Okay. He sort of nods at that.
Just arrived, not yet home.
Yeah, it's a boat. I wouldn't call it home.
Well, settle in. You won't be going
That confidence is a little terrifying.
He takes a step back. We'll see you around then.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Good. Keep an eye out. And he sort of slinks back into place. And then moving back towards where the boat landed, before you arrive, over in the distance, you hear sort of like a the noises of an animal.
Well, we're just passing through, so avoid.
We're going back to base, so maybe
Back
we
to
can
boat, yeah.
snag some dinner for us. And
Oh,
then
yeah, we could do that.
As you guys are heading back to the boat, you hear...
That would be 4 hours, though, right? I assume that would be an investigate.
So, no. So basically, everything you guys will do here will just be 4 hours. If you choose to look at the statue, that'll be probably 4 hours, depending on precisely what it is. But if you're already here, we can just say it's free, realistic. But we're not looking at the statue. You're trying to investigate the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you've moved somewhere and something like that happens, that's just something that's happening. It doesn't take extra time.
Oh,
Yeah.
so okay, so you mean a nearby point of interest is not an additional 4 hours?
I will say it'll basically, effectively be a detour, depending on what it is. So, for example, to go look at the statue will obviously be something if it is relevant. So, if the statue somehow does something or has a secret passage, then that'll be 4 hours. If it's literally just a statue, it doesn't take 4 hours to look at the statue. So, I'll probably just say somebody's great.
Yes, investigate.
As you sort of wheel and writhe through the jungle, you see 3 boars. And they seem to be wounded.
Wounded by what?
It's difficult to tell from this distance, but one of them, its side is just torn up. And upon closer inspection, it's already dead. The other 2 are hurt. One of its tusks shattered, bloody. It's kind of nuzzling the one on the ground to get it up, but it's completely dead. Either it's on the verge of death, or it just died. But it's trying to get it up, hey, let's go. And then there's another one that's limping. Its leg might be broken, and it's limping away.
Makes me feel kind of bad.
better to take them out of the misery.
Very true.
And then eat them.
So firebolt.
You gonna get shooty?
Yeah, actually produce flame, but close enough.
All right, go ahead and cast that for me. Are you shooting the one walking away, or the one nuzzling the other one?
The one walking away.
Okay. As you blast it on its flank side, it makes one more and it just falls over onto itself and it gives up. It's dead. It was on the verge of death. The other one, after seeing a burst of flame, kind of pulls its head up real quick and then looks around to see the source of whatever that attack was, and it quickly locks eyes on your group, and it seems angry. It's like defending the other dead one.
How far away from us is it?
You guys are 20 feet, 15 feet.
15 feet. I can do something with that. I'll cast lightning lure at it.
Strength save.
Strength save. He does not beat that.
Oh, that's a whiff,
So
my
13.
friend.
He gets pulled towards me, and if he gets within 5 feet, he takes 1d8 lightning damage.
All right, excellent. Well, he does indeed get pulled towards you.
He's now right next to us, basically.
Half of that looks like he actually wanted to charge you and attack you. But before he's actually able to fully charge, you're able to cast this spell and catch him mid-stride, and you pull him toward you, and he just hits the dirt and just slides across it. He's dead.
Yes, and I'll fly 10 feet up in a nearby tree.
Okay.
As a bonus action.
Right. And you see that both boars are downed, and the third one, it seems like I mentioned, probably already dead.
Can I investigate the third one to see how long it's been dead or what killed it? Because if it was something poisonous, then the meat's probably bad, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Wow. Hey, this meat looks great.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Do I look unsure?
Okay, so how big and fat are they?
They are about the size of your average boar. They look fairly meaty and fairly piggy. As the two of you...
Am I capable
I'm more
of
so
lifting
investigating
one?
what damaged them or what attacked them.
Yeah, definitely. What was the question, Sarabi?
Am I capable of lifting one? Or is
You
it
can
Sure.
slowly probably drag one, but they're pretty big.
All right, so I'll drag one, and Aldrin can drag two.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we have rope. We can drag them collectively.
Yeah.
Come on, you big tall man. Jeez, what did you like work in a palace or something your whole life?
No.
Rope would definitely work. As all three of them would take some serious effort, and you dragging it by yourself, Robbie, would be annoying. I don't know if you ever dragged like a large bag before that's just full of shit, but like
I have
walking,
indeed. It is
yeah.
quite annoying.
walking backwards like that is infuriating.
If only I had a big windy bag.
If only you had a big windy bag. If only. But before you guys rope them up and begin to drag them back to camp, you notice that it looks like something sharp just ripped into the side of this thing. Not razor sharp. So this is not like a sword.
Does it look like a clean cut? So no, it's a goring cut basically.
It's more of a goring cut. Yeah, its flesh was ripped and torn, and it is large, much larger than the tusks of these creatures. So whether it be claw, tooth, or husk, whatever it was, it didn't cut this thing in half, but it damn well could have.
Well, those piggies weren't in a hurry to get away, so it's probably gone.
Still best if we get away quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Follow the smell of blood. Not good.
All right, getting your guys' rope together, you tie these pigs in a nice little pig Congo line, and using our combined effort, we both summon Captain Planet and head back to the boat.
Heave ho, heave ho.
And as you guys return, you can see that they have tried their absolute best to basically reorient everything. Everyone is back, all the other mercenaries and such, and they have made camp. There is already food getting ready. You see that some other folk found some boards as well. It looks like someone found one of those birds they were able to capture. There's not really too much meat on it because they didn't do the best job killing it. If anything, you guys are bringing back the best hunk of meat. The rest of the food that's being eaten is just the reserves that they brought on the boat.
Yes.
Just hanging between them, trying his best to pull midair. I'm helping. For the most part, every NPC has their place and has a purpose for existing in this world, and they can all lead to something. So there's a reason there are this many NPCs. If you wish to speak with any of them or suss out any information, you're more than welcome to do so.
Boat.
We have returned to boat. And it's about midnight. You see most people have actually finished eating, if anything. But there are definitely some that are left over that are, kind of just hanging out. They're telling stories. They're just chit-chatting about, what they saw while keeping it under wraps.
Jack, Eunice, Audrey, how'd you guys fare? We got these three babies.
They see you guys dragging some pigs and kind of nod to each other like, hey, good job. Jack looks over at you. I'm not sure if I described him before, but I will real quick for you. He has wavy red hair, green eyes. He usually dresses in very bright greens and yellows. So not really one. You don't see him being one that will fight. He more so pays someone like Aubrey to fight for him.
Fair.
He looks a bit softer, if you will. And he kind of smirks and says, well, information is money. So can't tell you everything, but let's just say it was pretty juicy. Not as juicy as those 3 pigs, though. You sharing?
I might.
Well, team player here.
You gotta turn him into jerky first.
He looks over to Eunice and smiles, and she smiles back at him.
Gotta make sure that one isn't poisoned first.
Oh, yeah.
Poisoned, you say?
Where's
I can take a look at it.
Sure.
Sure.
I guess I don't need to ask, but you didn't do this yourself?
Those two
Not
did.
this one.
He looks at the other two that are basically both burnt and goes, oh, couldn't wait to eat them, could you?
I mean, fire magic. It's kind of my thing.
He smirks that and kind of winks as he pulls out like a small kit, and he actually begins to sort of poke around the wound on this boar. You see Audrey kind of standing close by with her hand on her weapon, not really like threatening you guys, just kind of looking around. And as she's doing this, it takes up maybe 5 or so minutes, and he kind of puts his kit away and says, no, it's clean. Whatever cut into this thing, well, clearly didn't want to eat it, but wanted to send a message. So it's dead, no poison, we're eating.
Well, regardless, looking at the marks, it's big.
Send a
dangerous.
message? What makes you say that?
Well, if there's a creature here or something killed it, why not eat it? I mean, you wanted it, right? It's not poisoned, right?
Yeah.
All right, then why kill it?
Self-defense makes sense. Yes, yes.
He nods to Leka.
But it's just a cute little boar. That seems a little unnecessary.
Yeah, cute's debatable.
Boars are kind of dumb, and they'll just kind of ram their faces in anything that they don't like.
Also that.
They also eat their own children. Yes. Reminds me of my family.
What, Leka?
You get a very odd look from Jack of like, what the hell are you talking about?
It's just a cold joke. It's fine. You can ignore it.
He awkwardly laughs and goes, all right, well, yeah, you're free to eat it. Just, yeah, go nuts.
Yes, let's find cook first.
Of course, of course.
I'll scamper off looking for the local cook, I guess.
All right, excellent. Martel has plenty of people that can assist with cooking and such. If anything, they actually still have a fire going. Mostly to keep warm, but very much if you guys wanted to bring things in, because as she said, bring back food, bring back anything you can, any information you can give to her. She, like I said, she will pay for. Other than that,
got to watch for food on the way, or for fruit on the way back. Actually,
I definitely need some jerky. I need this turned into jerky. Do we want to tell her about our new friend?
Yes. Though
we get
maybe
paid for information.
All right, works for me.
Even better yet, we might be able to bring him over here.
Oh,
some
that's
trade
true.
Notes that I actually share, basically. This is Leka's point of view.
Oh, you wrote a bunch of stuff down. Nice. Okay, so essentially everything... Titty elf statue. Everything written there you're sharing with her?
Yes.
Okay.
I might have missed something, but...
If there's anything you want to keep from her, please let me know. Whether it's something weird and special that you found, or something, that one of the others found. Regarding all this, we found humanoids, ogres, lizard people, a volcano, whale carcasses, a graveyard, a war-torn area with corpses and fire, ogre village to the north, humanoid village to the west, titty elf statue, the beach to the south, fauna and flora, zip birds. All right, with all that information, she seems quite impressed, actually. And she goes, well, shit, you guys were out all day, weren't you?
We just got back.
Yeah.
She's currently in her quarters, leaning back in her chair, and she kind of gets up, looks out one of the windows, and goes, oh, well, yeah, it's pretty dark outside, yeah. Well then, I'll have to put together what I can for you all. All able to eat, I assume?
Yes, brought back boar.
Oh.
And extra.
Does that mean you're sharing, Leka?
Depends. What do we get in return for it?
Well, I have a shit ton of money if you want that.
Money's no good on this island, though.
Yeah.
But I'll take it once we get back.
Yeah, tempting offer. if not for that.
Maybe.
She points her finger and says, debatably, as I do have things I can sell you. And of course, if any, those knuckleheads bring something back that they don't want, I buy it off them. Shit, might be useful.
For now, see it as community service.
That works. I will say, currently, all I can do is pay in gold, cash. These aren't Ma Martell bucks or anything. You can spend it anywhere, of course. I don't know how the folk on the island, did you speak with any of these ogres?
We stayed away from them. Ogres,
Understandable, of course. Well, be careful. See what they trade in. If it's gold, great. If it's not, well, shit, maybe we can convince them to. I brought enough to, let's say, stimulate the economy.
Excellent.
One tidbit. Lizard man we found, talked to. He said is no coming out of island. Not entirely sure that's true. We'll find out.
Apparently this place doesn't exist. Apparently we can't get here, and she motions around herself. Looks like we're here, so yeah, I don't buy it.
We'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, but we've only heard rumors, so one or two people have gotten off, but who knows if everyone else did.
Well, I'm standing right here, aren't I?
Exactly.
She points at Leka, exactly, and smirks. Do you mention to her that other people are here that aren't here?
I might have said something along the line of there might be more outsiders. Not sure. Have to verify.
She'll ask, did he clarify?
No.
Noted. Well, keep an eye out for these others, if you will, and we'll see what we see. Until then, your cots should be ready. It's, pretty damn late, so hit the beds and we'll catch you tomorrow.
I don't suppose your crew have already turned in?
They're mostly getting things fixed up. I gave them pretty strict orders to accommodate to you all for the first couple days. To be very clear, you are more than welcome to stay in the ship, of course, as long as, nothing crazy happens. But after a while, these little parties, the bonfire, won't be there. I'll expect you all to accommodate yourselves. We'll have areas for you, of course. This beach is indeed large enough. We'll try not to push too far into the island. If there are as many locals as you say there are, well, let's not butt heads with them too much.
Better go make some friends and top myself off. Later, guys.
What does she
Bye.
mean with that?
Don't
Huh?
worry about it.
She just smirks and says, dismissed, and gets back to what she was jotting down.
Shrug.
If you guys spent any spell slots, go ahead and hit that long rest, buddy. In terms of the time, like I mentioned, I won't be too anal, so if you guys kind of walk around the camp, chit-chatting with people, I don't really, I'm not going to count that against you guys. It's primarily just the primary actions of looking at certain things. If you guys just chit-chat and just talk with people at the camp, unless it's literally all day, I'm not going to count it.
I want to go check in on Edmund.
You can
Make sure
chit-chat.
he's doing good.
You do go to check in with him, and he, he's doing pretty good. His clothes have completely dried. He seems to have...
Stow away on this boat and we didn't notice until the very end.
He's a very sneaky old man.
He's always had his ways.
Anywho, he lets you know that he is indeed doing most well. He's maybe a little tired. Just in general, that storm was definitely a lot for an old man, but he's dry, clean, full, happy as long as he can chill on the boat.
How long does it take to dry out jerky in the olden days?
That's a wonderful question. We can probably look it up.
Google.
Yeah, Google. I'd say probably a day or two. It shouldn't take too long. I mean, if it takes a week, then holy shit. They were patient for their jerky that you eat in 5 seconds.
How long does it take to make jerky?
Smoke over low heat.
4 to 5 hours.
8 hours. I got
Okay,
6 to 8
mine's-
hours.
So during a long rest.
So
Basically.
overnight,
Basically overnight, yeah.
in the morning, I could get my jerky.
Okay, cool. Hey, it's like a really, really long microwave.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so we throw our jerky, we throw our pig into the night microwave, and
I will also offer up some like a good half of the pig for cooking it for us.
Okay.
To the cooks. Or a pig? Are we gonna let them have a pig?
3 pigs is a lot of meat.
They can have the gourd pig.
Yeah, that's a lot of meat.
So they can have 1 pig and we'll take the other 2.
I mean, one of them we turn into rations, basically, with the dried
Yeah.
jerky.
Do any of you have any cooking background?
See, I kind of picture Sarabi as a little posh, so I would say no.
You say no? Okay. Can Lekka cook for himself?
I mean, he spends most of his time on a ship, so probably yes. But
I would assume
like,
yes.
Wouldn't you
It
be
won't be
better at
good.
like cooking fish?
yes, but it's all the same for him.
That's true.
Speaking of fish, he is fishing in
jerky.
the morning.
Fish jerky.
Yeah, he is gonna make fish jerky. It exists. Fried fish.
It does. I've never had fish jerky, but I do know it exists. Aldrin, were you a prissy rich boy, or did you cook for yourself?
Oh, he was definitely prissy, please.
I mean,
I mean,
you don't know
he
that.
has Edmund, doesn't he?
being locked inside all the time, basically, I'd probably just get bored and like do random stuff around the house. So I probably cooked for myself every now and then.
Oh
Okay.
my.
And
The servants let you do that?
I mean, surely Edmund helps
Through
you.
the servants.
I see.
I'd like to say that Edmund's the kind of guardian, whatever role he is, that would be like, oh, you mustn't cook for yourself, sir. And then you go off to do that, and he's like, I'll watch and make sure you don't hurt yourself like Wank. Just kind of do your thing. And everyone's like, oh, where's Aldrin? He's like, oh, he's off in the yard and playing stickball and all that shit. Like, oh, yeah, why not? And then he's
Stickball.
yeah, with himself, just hitting a ball to the left, hitting it to the right, and
Because I have
crying.
no friends.
Wonderfully depressing. Okay, we'll go ahead and pause on the first day there, and we'll pick this back up next Friday.
Boy.
Oh boy.